She was kind. She cooked meals. She offered shelter to the helpless. But beneath her garden were bodies no one expected to find. Elderly, disabled, forgotten by society. They trusted her with their lives and paid with their deaths. Tonight, we uncover the horrifying truth of Dorothea Puente, the grandmotherly killer who buried her victims in plain sight and shocked the world with crimes hidden behind kindness. Dorothea Puente did not look like a killer. She looked like a caring elderly woman, soft-spoken, warm, and helpful. But behind that innocent appearance was one of the most disturbing serial killers in American history. Operating a boarding house for society's most vulnerable people, Dorothea turned trust into a weapon. Her crimes exposed how easily predators can hide behind compassion and how the forgotten members of society are often the easiest targets. Born in 1929 in California, Dorothea Puente grew up in instability and hardship. Her childhood was marked by neglect, poverty, and emotional trauma. She spent time in orphanages and reportedly suffered a serious head injury as a young woman, an event some later speculated may have affected her personality. From early adulthood, Dorothea showed signs of manipulation, fraud, and deception. Long before murder entered her life, lying and exploiting others had already become second nature. Dorothea Puente ran a boarding house in Sacramento, California, offering low-cost housing to elderly, disabled, and mentally ill individuals. To outsiders, she appeared generous, feeding her tenants, managing their needs, and acting like a caretaker. But behind closed doors, her home was a carefully constructed trap. Dorothea targeted people who depended on government assistance, gaining access to their Social Security checks. Once they were under her control, they became disposable. Unlike many serial killers driven by rage or fantasy, Dorothea Puente was motivated by greed and power. She forged signatures, collected benefits, and continued cashing checks long after her tenants disappeared. To Dorothea, people were income sources, not human beings. When a tenant became inconvenient, suspicious, or expensive, she removed them permanently. Murder was not emotional, it was practical. In 1988, authorities investigating a missing tenant made a discovery that shocked the nation. Buried in Dorothea Puente's backyard were bodies wrapped, hidden, and layered beneath the soil. As police dug deeper, more remains were found. The garden that once seemed peaceful became a mass grave. When police first searched her home, Dorothea Puente disappeared. She fled California, sparking a nationwide manhunt. Her calm escape only added to the horror. This elderly woman had outsmarted authorities. But she could not run forever. Dorothea was eventually captured in Los Angeles, casually dining when police arrested her. Even in handcuffs, she remained composed, refusing to admit guilt. Dorothea Puente showed no signs of remorse. Psychologists described her as manipulative, narcissistic, and emotionally detached. She saw herself as clever, not cruel. In her mind, she had outwitted both her victims and the system. Her ability to kill without visible emotion made her especially terrifying. Dorothea didn't rage, she calculated. Dorothea Puente stood trial for multiple murders, though the exact number of her victims may never be known. Prosecutors painted a chilling picture of a woman who preyed on trust and vulnerability. Dorothea Puente was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. She would never again walk free. Even behind bars, she maintained her innocence, insisting she was framed. But the bodies in her garden told a far darker truth, one that could never be buried again. Dorothea Puente's crimes forced society to confront an uncomfortable reality. Predators often target those no one is watching. Her victims were elderly, disabled, and marginalized people who deserved protection, not exploitation. Her story remains a chilling warning about blind trust and systemic neglect. If this story disturbed you, it should have. Because sometimes the most dangerous criminals hide behind kindness. Subscribe for more. Women Who Shocked the World.